Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast stage. The lights dim around you, and the room, once filled with chatter and the rustling of papers, falls into a velvet silence. Now it's just you and the expectant eyes and ears of your audience, waiting to be inspired. What happens next could define not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. It's a moment that demands presence, confidence, and clarity. When we talk about presenting with impact, we're diving headfirst into the art of connection. It's not about speaking perfectly or having all the right slides. It's about reaching people on a human level, brushing against their emotions, and leading them somewhere they didn't expect to go. Think about the great orators in history, or even the storytellers who drew you in as a child. What they had was something fundamental to who they were, something that made you feel as if they were speaking directly to your soul. Let's start with body language. Your body speaks before you say a word. It whispers confidence, or it shouts insecurity. Picture yourself standing tall, your feet firmly planted on the ground, anchoring you like the roots of an ancient tree. Feel your shoulders roll back slightly, opening you up to the world rather than hiding you away. These subtle shifts in your posture signal to your brain and to your audience that you are here, present, and in command. Your hands, they are storytellers too. They paint pictures in the air, emphasize your points, and invite your audience into your narrative. But they should never distract, only enhance the words you speak. Now breathe. Breathe in deeply like you're inhaling the crisp air of a morning in late autumn, filling your lungs with its coolness. This breath grounds you, slows your heart, and gives your mind a moment to center itself. Speaking is less about the words you choose and more about the pauses in between. These pauses create space for your audience to absorb, to reflect, to connect. It's in these gaps where the magic happens, where your message transforms into a dialogue of thought and emotion. Emotional intelligence comes into play, an invisible thread knitting you to your audience. Listen not just to their questions, but to the undercurrents in their voice, the subtle cues of their body language. Feel the room's energy, much like sensing the change in weather by the shift in the wind. Adjust yourself with empathy, a silent dance of understanding and adaptation. This isn't manipulation. It's a deep respect for the shared human experience. Confidence doesn't mean you're never nervous. Even the most seasoned speakers feel that flutter of anticipation. It's the willingness to embrace that feeling, to transform it into excitement and energy. Let's think of it as standing on the banks of a wide river. The current is powerful, and stepping into the water is daunting. But once you dive in, once you move with the flow, the force becomes exhilarating rather than terrifying. To be persuasive, craft your message much like you'd weave a tapestry, each thread intentional and vivid. Draw your listeners with stories that stir the senses. Imagine describing the taste of a ripe summer peach, the way the juice spills over your tongue, sweet and vibrant, a burst of sunlit warmth. Such storytelling is not about embellishment, but about creating a shared experience, a momentary escape that links your message to the feelings people yearn for. Empathy is your compass. It steers the direction of your presentation, allowing you to navigate the often unseen currents of your audience's thoughts and concerns. When you speak, you're not just delivering information, you're building a bridge of understanding. It's about acknowledging what matters deeply to them, the way a gentle conversation over a steaming cup of tea can unravel long-hidden stories. When you carry this empathy into your words, you invite them to walk alongside you, rather than merely observe from afar. Framing your ideas persuasively means guiding your audience to see the world through your lens, if only for a moment. Imagine holding a prism up to the light, allowing them to glimpse the myriad colors hidden within a single beam. This is not coercion, but an invitation to explore and discover, to consider perspectives they might never have encountered otherwise. And remember, your voice is an instrument, a symphony of tones and rhythms, each note capable of conjuring emotions as varied and profound as music itself. Speak with conviction, letting your voice rise and fall like the gentle ebb and flow of the ocean tide. Let it carry your listeners, cradling them in its cadence, guiding them to the shores of your message. As we draw this reflection to a close, picture stepping away from that stage, the applause fading gently into the background. What lingers is not just the words you've spoken, but the warmth of connection, the impact of presence, and the quiet power of authenticity. The essence of presentation is not in the act of speaking, but in the art of reaching out, of touching lives with sincerity and intention. So the next time you find yourself standing on the brink of that stage, remember, you're not alone. You're a conduit for stories, emotions, and insights. Trust in the strength of your voice, the wisdom of your silence, and the heart of your message. In doing so, you'll not only inspire others, but discover the true depth of your own potential. As we journey further into the realm of impactful presentations, I want you to picture this. You're standing in a room filled with people, some faces familiar, others not. It's the kind of gathering where attention can easily drift away. Your mission is to capture and hold that attention, turning what could be a mundane meeting into a transformative experience. The key here is storytelling. You see, stories are hardwired into our very being. They are how we make sense of the world, how we relate to one another. When you weave a compelling narrative through your presentation, you create a thread of connectivity that draws your audience in, engaging both their hearts and minds. Imagine beginning with a relatable anecdote, something that taps into a shared experience or challenge. It's this human connection that transitions your message from abstract to personal. Now think about your voice. It's an instrument capable of remarkable versatility. Your tone, pace, and inflection carry the power to emphasize and bring life to words on a page. Consider the pauses. They are not merely spaces between words, but moments of reflection for your audience. Pauses give weight to your message, crafting a rhythm that keeps listeners on the edge of their seats, anticipating what comes next. In tandem with your voice, your body language is a silent yet influential partner in communication. Visualize yourself standing tall, your posture open and inviting. Your gestures should be purposeful, not frenetic. They are the punctuation marks of your spoken narrative. Eye contact, perhaps one of the most profound connections you can make, invites each person in the room to feel acknowledged, to feel seen. And let's talk about visuals. When used effectively, they act as a powerful amplifier of your words, not a distraction. Imagine your slides or props as a set of visual signposts guiding your listeners through the journey you're narrating. They should be clean, intentional, and supportive of your spoken word, not overshadowing it. The goal is synergy between what is heard and what is seen. Lastly, embrace the concept of feedback. After a presentation, actively seek out insights from your audience. It is through this reflective process that you grow and refine your skills. Listen to the subtle cues during your talk as well. The nods, the smiles, the occasional glance at a phone. These are indicators of engagement, signs that your message is resonating, or perhaps that a shift in strategy is necessary. In the end, delivering an impactful presentation is about more than just speaking in front of a group. It's about cultivating an environment of exchange where your ideas inspire, challenge, and ultimately stick with your audience. It's a dance of connection and art, and you are the artist painting a moment that lingers long after the words have ended. And as always, remember, the most powerful presentations aren't just delivered, they are lived. As we continue to explore essential presentation skills for impact, let's turn our attention to a vital, oft-overlooked element, the art of storytelling. Picture this. You're standing in front of your audience, armed with facts and figures, ready to impress with your depth of knowledge. Yet as you dive into your data, you notice eyes glazing over. This is where storytelling steps in as your secret weapon, transforming dry information into vivid narratives that resonate long after you've left the room. Real stories, whether drawn from personal experiences or relevant anecdotes from others, serve as bridges, connecting your audience to the material on a level that's both emotional and intellectual. When you incorporate a well-crafted story into your presentation, you're not just offering information. You're inviting your audience on a journey. You're giving them a reason to care, a way to see themselves in the scenario you're painting. Now, don't worry if you feel like you're not a natural storyteller. This skill, like any other, can be nurtured. Start by reflecting on moments from your own life or work that teach a broader lesson or illustrate a key point you're trying to make. These stories don't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes the simplest moments carry the most powerful messages. Consider, for instance, a time when you faced a challenge and found a creative solution. What steps did you take? What emotions did you experience along the way? How did the resolution impact the people involved? By sharing these details, you're doing more than recounting an event. You're inviting your audience to step into your shoes, to feel what you felt, and to understand your insights on a deeper level. Equally important is the structure of your story. Think of it in three parts: the setup, the conflict, and the resolution. The setup introduces the scenario and characters. The conflict presents the challenge or problem, and the resolution showcases the outcome and the lesson learned. This framework not only helps keep your narrative clear and focused, but also creates a rhythm that holds your listeners' attention. Moreover, storytelling isn't just about words, it's about your entire presence. When you tell a story, engage your body language, your facial expressions, and your vocal variety to bring it to life. Use pauses strategically to build suspense or emphasize key points. Vary your pitch and tone to reflect the highs and lows of the narrative. This dynamic delivery is what breathes life into your words and keeps your audience hanging on every detail. As you hone this skill, pay attention to the stories that captivate you, whether in books, podcasts, or presentations. What draws you in? How do they make you feel? Use these observations to refine your own storytelling craft. Incorporating storytelling into your presentations not only makes your material more memorable, but it also humanizes the experience, bridging the gap between speaker and listener. It allows you to connect on an emotional level, fostering a sense of empathy and understanding that data alone cannot achieve. Remember, the goal of your presentation is not just to inform, but to inspire, to move your audience to think, feel, and act differently. So the next time you prepare for a presentation, challenge yourself to weave in a story that encapsulates your message. Trust in its power to transform your delivery and leave a lasting impact on your audience. Because when you harness the art of storytelling, you're not just sharing information, you're creating an experience.